Okay, so here's my backpack, and it has 3 compartments to it. So in the main one, I used these attachments. This is just one, and I sewed this middle bar in, and then I threaded self-adhering Velcro, so it's just Velcro that has both sides, the more rigid side and then the soft side. I fed that through it. For the bag to go in, you can see my stitching on the back right here. I wish I had used pink thread because I do have it, but I didn't. And you can make, I would say, the Velcro even a little bit longer than I did. I think mine's probably about 8 inches. I would maybe make it 9. There's air in my bag because I had started this video and my cap came off, and it's full enough right now. I'm not gonna worry about it, but I will be fixing that later. So then I thread it through the little diagonal things in our feed setup and then Velcro it in. I don't do it as high up as it can go because I don't want my bag to always be tipping over, but I leave it, I also leave room at the bottom. I don't know if you can tell, but it's about 3 inches off the bottom, so I don't get the alerts that we always get. Then in order for the cartridge to fit through, I got, and I'm gonna share photos of all the materials too, but I will show you this. I got these curtain grommets, and I had to get the 1 9/16 size because the 1 inch doesn't fit the cartridge through. But these are just, they click in and they come with a template. I'm going to show you how to do it too if you want to see that. But it's really easy. You just pick where you want it to go and then draw in where you're going to put it. And then for placement, I have the infinity pump. I chose to put mine in the outermost pocket. It's not the easiest slide in and out, but I think it's just the most secure for the pump, so that's why I put it there. I already lost track of what I was saying. So I had to put in 2 grommets to get it through to the outermost section. And with the infinity, I remember now, the infinity pump, it's on the, well, in the bag, it's on the left side. So I put the grommets for it on the upper left side, and there's 2 in a row. And again, I'll show you how to do that in a second. So then you just load your cartridge up, and the tube just goes right back through. And then when it comes to the line connecting to me, I put a tiny grommet there, and this is they're called it's a fashion grommet kit, and I had to get the 1/2 inch, 12.7 millimeter, and in that kit comes this tool. And again, I'm gonna post all the materials. This is the, I think, harder one to place, but it fits. This isn't too much for everybody because you all have it. It fits the attachment through it. So I just, for placement, on my first practice bag, I put it higher up, and it kept giving me warnings. So I put it lower, and it's been working perfectly I did it lower on my practice bag, and that took care of the air, so I knew to put this lower. So I recommend putting it lower and closer to you. I know some people put one in the back, and I've seen them use the larger grommet. So if you don't want to mess around with a tiny one, you can also use the larger grommet. And my biggest tip is when you're pulling this back out or putting it through, really hold it with your hand, because when you use a nicer bag, formula does splash in and out of them, even though we try to be careful. I just hold it so I'm not just ripping it through and have formula splash around. Dried formula smells so bad. So that's the placement of it all. And then I'm going to use my old practice bag, which does not look very nice, but I will show you how to place the grommets. For this one, on this bag, you can see what I had done was I knew this is where I wanted my hole to be. So I took this template and placed it there. You get the idea. And I used, on this one, this worked, the more chalk pencil, and just drew the circle in. You can use a pen, whatever, it doesn't matter. A big tip I have though is once you draw that, cut your circle a little bit smaller than what you drew, because then you're gonna take your grommet, and there's one that's a little bit more raised than the other. It's, to me, easier to put that one on the inside. So you're really trying to make everything easier. But you don't want fabric that's not in. If you put it together and let's say you leave a little corner out, it can fray and just, it's not as nice for your bag. Self-explanatory, I think. So it's a little bit easier if you cut the circle as small as you can while still not making it go over, if that makes sense. But once you have your circle cut, then you're just going to put them together, and then you push on it until you hear it click, and then you're done. It's just that easy. I think that is why some people put the bigger grommet on their outgoing tube as well instead of the little ones, because it's really easy. So this is the one where I had put it higher up and I got all the bad messages. So then I put it lower down, but it's handy for us now because I can show you how to do it. So you take the one that has the raised up lip on it, and so I had cut a hole, and that's where the tiny scissors are really handy. Bigger scissors aren't so good at it, but what I recommend, and this was really tough canvas, so it was so hard to cut this, and I didn't have these good scissors then. What I did on the bag I have now is I just cut the tiniest little hole in the middle, and then just cut, and these are so sharp and accurate, I was able to cut a tiny little circle. And then you put this in there. It's hard to see, but it is inside there. And then you take there are little rubber rings. And then there's a small metal one. One's concave and the other one is more domed. and you put the dome side up. And then you take this guy and put it on top. Then the tricky part is you have to lay it flat on a table. And then you just whack it with a hammer. It took me 2 whacks. You might be stronger than me. I'm not gonna do it because I don't wanna waste this grommet. But you just whack it once or twice and then you'll be able to tell. It will just stay really nice and tight and it won't come loose. The first time I did it, I thought it was done, and a few minutes later I was walking around and it was dangling on my tube. So I just went back and redid it and it stayed, and it was this one. And it's awesome now. So just whack it as hard as you can with a hammer. So that's how I made these backpacks. If you have any other questions, let me know. I think the brand on literally everything I got is Dritz. And it was all from Joann Fabrics. So let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much. I hope this helped. Bye-bye.